Hello, how you doing? It's the Sunday after church edition of the Weather Mic. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend and Sunday as well. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon here in western Iowa on the 3rd of March, and we're heading into spring forward next weekend. Don't forget to do that. I lived in Arizona for 16 years. I got so used to not springing forward or falling back. It's very nice. That would be nice if the rest of the country adopted that, but not yet. So most of us are going to spring forward next weekend. Anyway, today's spotlight, the weather headline, if you will. Let's head to Bismarck, North Dakota. The weather office out of Bismarck, they handle pretty much the whole state, and there's snow happening today in North Dakota. In fact, the further north you go in North Dakota is your best chance for the heavier snow. So northwest to southeast, as you head southeast, nothing. Fargo, nothing. But again, Minot. And Williston, Crosby, Bottineau, a nice French word, Newtown, all in those areas, and in the boonies in between, some very heavy snowfall happening this afternoon, this evening, overnight, and the snow will be blowing around. And then the snow will end on Monday night with patchy blowing and drifting snow continuing with that wind. So a nod to Bismarck, spelled Bismarck. When I was a brand new weatherman in Roswell, New Mexico, it was like literally my first month or so on the air. And I put Bismarck on my map because it didn't auto-populate back in those days. This is like 1990 or 91, something like that. And I spelled Bismarck, Bismark. And I think we got a call. I think that's how I learned. So I haven't forgotten it since. Anyway, here's the hazards for today. And we'll move to the surface next. And there is your snow, Bismarck and north and into Montana as well, with winter storm warnings with the heaviest snow and winter weather advisories otherwise. And it's wind advisories for North Dakota, South Dakota otherwise. And then you get into the plains and into the Midwest, and that sea of red is a red flag warning. Right now outside here, it's like 72 degrees, and that south wind has to be gusting over 30 at least. And it's warm, it's dry, it's windy. Be careful with any sparks outside. All right, as we head into the Rockies, Central Rockies, Colorado, winter storm warnings there, some heavy snow there. Lighter amounts, southwestern part of the state, winter weather advisory. Heavy snow, Utah, winter storm warnings, otherwise winter weather advisories. California, hanging on to a small part of the blizzard warning for the northern Sierra Nevada. Otherwise, it's winter storm warning for Northern California and Southern Oregon. And there I go again. And winter weather advisories for the Cascades of Oregon and around some of that heavier snow in Northern California. Today's surface map looks like this. Freezing rain in North Dakota, that was this morning. Now switching over to snow as we've seen. The gray area, that's your highest fire danger today. Critical fire weather possible for the southern plains of eastern New Mexico, West Texas, into Oklahoma, Colorado, a little bit of Kansas. Behind the front that's moving in, we're seeing snow across much of the west and northwest. That changes to mix lowest elevations of some thunderstorms possible in central California, though, and heavy snow for the Cascades of Oregon and the Siskiyous of Northern California. And then meanwhile, in the southeast, along that stationary front, thunderstorms, Florida and along the Gulf Coast up into the mid-Atlantic coast. And then further north, it's regular rain for New England. And there's even a slight chance of severe weather this afternoon in Florida with that stationary front as a focus for those storms. Otherwise, the lighter green is just your general garden variety thunderstorms that won't hurt anybody. Wait a second. It's showing the same area as some of the snow in North Dakota. I wonder if there'll be some thunder snow up there. Wouldn't that be cool? All right, today's high is very high through the plains. We're talking 80s in a lot of Texas, 70s and 80s, but 82 for Lubbock, Texas, 79 for Roswell, New Mexico, 77 Amarillo. Again, you throw in the dry air and the gusty southerly winds. High fire danger here. 80s through Oklahoma into Kansas and into Missouri. Mid 70s even for Des Moines. So it's warm. Is that a 72 for Minneapolis? I think it might be. It's like craziness. Now there is a front behind that. So moving through Nebraska today, South Dakota, I see temperatures dropping off into the 50s, further back even into the 40s and 20s up in North Dakota, Montana. So that's where our front is, and that'll be shifting those high temperatures off to the east for tomorrow. We'll show you that here in a second. But even 50 degrees right now, I'm sorry, for a high today in places like Portland, Maine, and is that, I think, 50 for Boston. All right, surface map for tomorrow. We see the front making some progress through Iowa, a mixture of rain and snow maybe for Des Moines. I think it's going to stay dry here in western Iowa. Ahead of that front, a lot of showers and storms. I mean, a huge area of thunderstorms from Michigan through the Ohio Valley, down the Mississippi, Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, and a large part of Texas, and hanging into storms in Florida. And some of those could be severe in the center part of the country, or I should say center east. So from the Midwest down into, along the Mississippi, basically, or just west of the Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, West Texas. So watch out for severe thunderstorms here. Begin no tornadoes or anything like that, just isolated severe. Otherwise, the light green is your regular thunderstorms. And our high temperatures tomorrow still pretty high ahead of the front. So, we have 70s through the Ohio Valley, 70s up into Michigan, through Missouri. Again, much of the South in the 70s, 80s for Florida. And we see 50s and 60s pressing further north into New England. 50 again for Boston, though. That's consistent. And then the colder air is off to the north and northwest, basically. All right, here's the surface for tomorrow, and we see our cold front not making big progress through the Midwest. So big area of thunderstorms again, kind of the same place we're going to see tomorrow. This is for Tuesday. And then lots of rain up and down the East Coast, Mid-Atlantic up through New England. And then our Pacific Northwest snow continues with heavy snow in some of the mountains of Wyoming, Idaho, Oregon. And the severe threat for Tuesday, yeah, there is. Louisiana, Mississippi, East Texas, and southern Arkansas as well. But again, not talking tornadoes, just maybe some damaging wind and some large hail, which, that's not fun. Right, here's how it looks on the GFS model as we go through this today, starting at noon, which was an hour ago. And there we see our snow in North Dakota, light snow across, Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, Nevada, and then heavier snow, southern Oregon into northern California, as we just highlighted, and a little bit of a blizzard still happening in here in the Sierra Nevada. It's rain on the California coast, and as we go through the rest of the day, you see the heavy snows hanging in there for the Sierra Nevada. We see this heavy snows in North Dakota exiting. We see some showers and maybe even some thunderstorms, Wisconsin, into the UP of Michigan. And a couple thunderstorms near Cape Hatteras or, right along the North Carolina coast. But otherwise kind of quiet as we finish off your Sunday and head into Monday. This is 6 a.m. Central Time. And as we get more into tomorrow, we do start to see our showers breaking out here ahead of our cold front, which is here. And behind the front, we see a little bit of light snow still hanging in there for Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, into the northwest. But it's these thunderstorms that we'll watch, and our low here, still with a shower or storm off the Virginia coast, maybe moving onshore into Virginia and Maryland. And then we see our showers and thunderstorms from East Texas, Louisiana, up through Illinois, Wisconsin, into Michigan, with snow for Oregon, California, rain on the coast. This is midnight tomorrow night. As we head into Tuesday, we see heavier thunderstorms. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and still a chance of showers and storms all the way into Michigan. We do see some showers moving into New England, rain showers. And it's snow in the west, light snow, Idaho, Montana, heavier, southern Oregon, northern California, just getting pummeled with the snow. Again, good news for the summer runoff. So I don't know that you'll hear too many complaints unless you have to drive through it, in the next couple of days. Heavy storms moving into the panhandle of Florida, also Alabama, Georgia. This is Tuesday late, light snow in the northwest, rain on the coast. As we get into Wednesday morning, this is Tuesday night, midnight Central Time, 1 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday. We do see some big storms with this low in Georgia. So heavy rain. Some of that heavy rain getting into Kentucky, Tennessee. Heavier snows around Yellowstone in Wyoming as we head into Wednesday. And that's short-lived, but it's there. This low, however, is causing a lot of rain. Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, up into the Virginias. And that trailing, I don't know if you call it a front, but maybe a line of showers and storms into North Carolina moving off the coast. As the low moves northward, it's taking showers and embedded thunderstorms and locally heavy rain as well, all the way into New England as we get late in the day Wednesday and move into Thursday. Meanwhile, I don't want to miss this, a little bit of shower activity for Southern California. Early Thursday morning, late Wednesday into Thursday. So our rain eventually moves out of New England, and we see another batch of showers and thunderstorms busting out in the Central Plains and into the Midwest. Iowa, technically the Midwest, some showers and storms here. This would be late Thursday, back into Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma. That's near Tulsa, some heavy rainfall moving into along the Red River, Dallas, towards Austin, definitely Arkansas into Louisiana as we watch this go. This is ending next week, so this is Friday, and more showers and storms and heavy rain moving into the south and also into the Midwest, with a little bit of snow on the backside for parts of northwest Iowa. Probably not where I live here in western Iowa, but maybe. I hope so. And then some snow in Minnesota and Wisconsin as we get, this is deeper into Friday. This is noon Friday, Central Time. Heavy rain, right along the Mississippi River, Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, Mississippi into Alabama, Tennessee. This is really heavy rainfall. And we'll see that activity continue into South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Atlanta. Looks like you'll get soaked briefly, if not more. And those showers and storms move into, the Carolinas, into Georgia. We're now Saturday morning here with some light rain further into the Midwest, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, into Pennsylvania, even parts of New York State. And another system moving onshore for Oregon, Washington, California coast with some showers. This is next weekend now as we get into next weekend. Kind of a mess in the east, especially Pennsylvania into New York, and this is moving into New England. Some rain for the mid-Atlantic back into the southeast. Our storm in the northwest is not a big deal. It's mostly light rain and snow. But again, this is next weekend, so things can change. Some pretty good snows for New York, close to New York City, moving into Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Vermont, and New Hampshire as well. So this bears watching. This is early in the day, Sunday, moving into Sunday afternoon. So New England could have a nice little late season storm as we get into next weekend, with you see more activity in the northwest as well. All right, that's still a lot. I mean, it's weather. There's always stuff going on, so that's why we're here every day. Here are the trends as we get into March now. We're in March, and this is your 8 to 14 day probability for precipitation. I like that alliteration. So this is the 10th through the 16th. These are our trends. Above average precipitation for most of the country is a pretty good bet. And Our temperatures, the warmest temperatures now, more Great Lakes. So instead of the eastern half of the country, the south is now, with all this rain that's coming down, it's going to cool things off a little bit. So equal chances of higher than normal temperatures or lower than normal temperatures for the south. But as you get further north, Tennessee, Kentucky, and into the Great Lakes and into New England and into the Midwest, your best chance for warmer than average temperatures, and the West remaining cool. Cool. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. That's how things look today. We'll update you tomorrow, assuming I have time during my lunch, and I should. So we'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in, the Weather Mike. Really appreciate it.